What's happening, people? Transfer show. Not had one of these for a while, have we? Believe it or not, the transfer window's open. You wouldn't know it as an Arsenal fan, trust me. We are only 3 days in. It's day 4, actually, I think. We've had the first, we've had the second, we've had the third. It's now the 4th of June, and Arsenal have signed no one. Now, I don't want to make that sound dramatic because, of course, it is still very early days, but we have a very small window before the Club World Cup starts, and that is where we're going to start. Look at what everyone else is doing. Now, I don't say everyone else. And teams around us, the ones that we shouldn't care about, what we actually do, because we're now sitting slightly worried about what's going on at other clubs when nothing's happening at Arsenal. Now, we're not going to be a part of the Club World Cup. Obviously, Manchester City are, Chelsea are, a few other teams are, but we're going to be talking about transfers in and around, not just Arsenal, and why Arsenal don't seem to be interested in doing any business. Over 100 of you here already, which is mad. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and please make sure you scan the QR code up there. It's Match Bingo. I will put it in the live chat as well. It is in the description. If you click on that and deposit £5, that would be amazing because our sponsors are trying to help push this. Match Bingo, obviously the football has stopped, but there is still the Club World Cup to come. The Women's Euros, we've still got the Nations League. I think tonight it's, is it Germany, Portugal, and Spain, France tomorrow? I think that's the way around. So let's get Match Bingo downloaded. It will give you a bingo card. You don't have to do anything else. All you need to do is select the card you want. They're doing buy 4, get 1 free at the moment. And all you need to do is sit and watch. It will give you all sorts to tick off, but it will tick it off for you automatically. So you don't need to look and tick it off yourself. It's basically like playing bingo whilst watching the football. So please make sure that you do that. Links in the description or just scan the QR code, download it and put £5 into it. And then you'll get a certain amount of cards. And there's good money to win on it as well. Really good money. So please make sure that you're in it. I did it for the Champions League games. I found it really good. And it will give you substitution, yellow card, goal with a left foot, free kick goal, penalty awarded, VAR, everything will come in. So get involved, people. Hopefully, good luck with it. That's the first thing. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We're going to be talking about transfers and we're going to be talking about everything that's happening. Unfortunately, not much is happening at Arsenal. Not in terms of signings. Now, we can say that Liverpool and United and Chelsea and City and Newcastle, they haven't signed 4 or 5 players yet, but it sounds like they're close to. I don't know what's happening with Zubimendi. I don't know what's happening with Sesko or Gyökeres. I don't know what's happening with Nico Williams or Leroy Sané, but that will all be mentioned as well. So lock in, people. Sit back and enjoy. I've got to be honest. There's not much to discuss when it comes to Arsenal signings, but there's a lot to discuss when it comes to transfer news. Big up to Troops. Make sure you're following Troops TV. Big up to him every single time. Just large up the chat, smash a blood clot like. Listen, I've got to be honest with you. Probably one of the better of the shows I've done recently is one that's about to drop on Troops TV with myself, Troops, Curtis, and Zar. So make sure that you're following that one. That's going to drop soon, I'm sure. So, yeah, look out for that one. Big up to everyone that's in the chat. Appreciate you all, as always. Over 300 of you here already. Nearly 350 of you. Hit the like and subscribe, people. And let's get into this one. Because for me, we're going to do a roundup of what's happening at the moment. And unfortunately, not much of it is going to be talking about Arsenal's transfer business that's been completed. So let's get into it. Big up to everyone. Where should we start? I'll tell you where we'll start. We'll start with our rivals, who I've never seen as rivals, but for this season that we're about to go into, they're going to be our rivals. And that's Liverpool. Because look at what they're doing. Just look at it. Look at what they're doing. They're moving mad. Moving like a serious club. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, they've all come back into play and they've woken up FSG. And you know what? They're going to go back to back if this carries on. If there's no reaction from the clubs around them, I expect Liverpool to walk this league again because Jeremy Frimpong is coming in to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. Milos Kerkez, for me, the best left back in the Premier League this season, is coming in to upgrade on Robertson and Tsimikas. And Florian Wirtz, who I think will go down as the signing of the summer, looks like he's going to Liverpool. Now, Liverpool fans are excited, rightly so. I don't think they're stopping there. Because Mamardashvili's coming in, if you remember, to give cover to Alisson and potentially take his place when he's ready to go, because he's injured quite a lot for a goalkeeper and he's not getting any younger. They're looking at a number 9. The names are Hugo Ekitike, Benjamin Sesko's been mentioned as well. Isak's the one that they want as a dream. And they also looking at another central midfielder, which is mad for me, because they have actually got Endo. They have actually got Gravenberch. They have actually got Curtis Jones. They have actually got Harvey Elliott. They have got Dominic Szoboszlai. They will have Florian Wirtz. And they're still looking at bringing someone else in. And I'm hearing Adam Wharton's name mentioned over the last couple of weeks. Now, that's going to be a hell of a lot of money. I think Crystal Palace will ask upwards of 80 million, if I'm honest, something mad like that. But let's be real. It worries me, because Liverpool are a side that are going to be going for the title. Whether or not you believe they'll win it or not next season, we've got to see what everyone else does in the window. But for me right now, they're already favourites, and they've put themselves right back into the mix of being favourites this year. Because this, for me, is a brilliant start for them. They've got Alisson and Mamardashvili as their keepers. They've got Conor Bradley to back up Frimpong. They've got Kirkes, and they're still going to keep one of Tsimikas or Robertson. They've got 4 centre-backs, because Joe Gomez and Quansah both back up Van Dijk and Konaté. That's more cover than Arsenal have got, both in goal and in defence at the moment. That's without touching any of the other positions. If they were to bring in somebody like Adam Wharton alongside Gravenberch and Endo, and they've still got Curtis Jones, and they've still got the likes of Szoboszlai on top of Florian Wirtz, Alexis McAllister is by far their best midfielder, in my opinion. And the front three of Salah and Gakpo and Diaz and Nunez and Jota looks like it's going to be refreshed. Diaz looks like he could be on the way out. Looks like Darwin Nunez and Jota could be, which keeps Gakpo and Salah. That means they've got a lot of money there to go and slap it on a number 9 and potentially another winger. Real talk, man. Liverpool aren't messing around. They aren't messing around. Let me tell you that now. Liverpool are going big. And that means there needs to be a reaction. Not just from Arsenal, by the way. There needs to be a reaction from the teams around them that believe they'll be in a title race next season. Whether you think they'll win the league or not, Chelsea and Newcastle should be looking to try and get in the mix for a title charge. Yeah? And worry about United and Spurs and all those other guys. They're catching up, yeah? Aston Villa, Forest, all these guys, they'll spend money, but they're catching up for us. The people that I expect to be in a title race, I genuinely believe, if the window goes as expected, I expect Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Newcastle all to be within reach of going for a title charge. Whether you think which one's going to win it, I'll let you decide that, right? But I think we could get to February, March, and 4 or 5 teams could still be in with a shout of a title. I think it's going to be very close this season. So when I look at Liverpool, that could completely blow that prediction out the water, because this right now looks like they're going to have great fun in the coming years, because that is a very good start to their window. And I don't think they're done yet. So if they do now start to get rid of some of the dead wood and they get some decent money for players like Harvey Elliott and Darwin Nunez and Luis Diaz and maybe even Diogo Jota, and they go and slap down serious money on a striker, serious money on a winger, on top of Florian Wirtz, on top of a midfielder like Adam Wharton, and on top of 2 fullbacks in Kirkes and Frimpong alongside Mamardashvili, who's already been confirmed, they've got their squad to go again. And trust me, it's stronger than last season's. Scary. Very scary. That's what I will say. Liverpool moving mad. And I don't expect Liverpool to be the only team that moves mad. I think Newcastle and Chelsea will spend money. I do. I think they will. But they're not the only team that at the moment is making good signings. Who are the biggest banter club at the moment, people? It's Manchester United. Well, Manchester United have got 2 Premier League proven top quality signings that are pretty much confirmed in Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo. This is Manchester United, who are 15th in the league, by the way, that are moving mad with Premier League proven players that, let me get it correct, would both start for Arsenal. Cunha, for me, would play in our attacking midfield role. Ødegaard dropped to that 8. You play Mbeumo, whoever you want to call his name, on one wing and Saka on the other. This, for me, would be 2 players that right now would start for Arsenal. And they've gone to Manchester United. Now, I'm not saying they've gone to United over Arsenal. People like to make out that Manchester United got this huge pull still. Yes, they have. But it's not like these two have rejected Arsenal for Manchester United. But look at the goals. 15 goals and 6 assists in just 33 games. And Brian Mbeumo's got 20 goals and 8 assists in 38. 28 in 38? That's pretty good from Brian Mbeumo from a right wing perspective. These are 2 good signings that 100% will do something for Manchester United. Now, will it catch up to Arsenal's level? Absolutely not. Manchester United need more than these 2. But isn't it refreshing if you're a Manchester United fan to get these 2 in early? Isn't it refreshing as a Liverpool fan to think before the Club World Cup, you could easily have 2 or 3 players in the door? This is not what I want to be seeing. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It does my head in, if I'm honest with you. And I want to see Arsenal alongside it. Now, it wouldn't do my head in as much, right? If it got to a stage where potentially you're looking at them players coming in, but Arsenal have already signed XYZ. They've already signed Gyökeres. They've already got in Zubimendi, and they're already bringing in Rodrigo. I'd be like, bring in Mbeumo who you want. Bring in Cunha who you want. I don't care what Liverpool are doing. Arsenal are moving mad. But Arsenal are not moving mad. Arsenal are waiting. And if I'm honest with you, if I had to predict and have a bet with you all, I actually bet that Arsenal won't sign anyone in the next 2. I don't think we will. I think in the next 2 weeks, I think before this Club World Cup, I think we're waiting. There's already reports we're waiting on Zubimendi. There's already reports that Sesko and Gyökeres were indecisive. It doesn't look like Nico Williams or Leroy Sané are going anywhere far near Arsenal right now. Not that I want either of them. Doesn't sound like Rodrigo's happening. So come on, man. What's going on? What's going on? Let's move, because that's Liverpool and Manchester United. Who cares about Man United, right? Who cares about Liverpool? We care about Arsenal. And I'm one who normally says that. Then I look at the scenario of what's happening elsewhere and I'm thinking, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. A player I wanted. A player I still want. A player I would love, in fact. Going to Manchester City. For a fee, wait for it, of 46.3 million. 46 million pounds for Reinders, who right now would be better than Zubimendi for us. Real talk. Zubimendi's more. Zubimendi's a different position. But if you're having Rice and Partey in the 6 and Reinders in the 8, that is a baller. Zubimendi's a good 6, but we've already got 6s. We need a box-to-box. This guy is a phenomenal talent. He's one that I wanted at Arsenal in the summer, in January. He has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I understand that Manchester City are in for him, and I understand that Reinders is probably interested in going to Manchester City over Arsenal, and I get that, right? But let's just be real. This is a player that Arsenal should have been all over for that price. 46.3 million. That is an absolute steal. AC Milan have not got the Champions League pool anymore. They didn't qualify for it. So he's thought, do you know what? I've done all I can here. I'm one of the best players. Holland absolutely love him. He's going to be a top talent. I think he's going to hit the Premier League by storm. I think he's going to love a Pep Guardiola system. Manchester City's midfield just got scarier, people. Rodri is back. Reinders is starting alongside him. Foden in that role will be better. If it's not Foden and you go more Marmoush, or maybe you go more Ryan Cherky, looks like they're getting him as well. So Manchester City are buying Ryan Cherky and Reinders alongside Aït-Nouri and potentially Tino Livramento. Liverpool are getting both their fullbacks in Frimpong and Kerkez alongside Florian Wirtz and a striker that they want. Manchester United are buying Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, and they want Victor Gyökeres. And Arsenal are trying to decide who they want out of Sesko and Gyökeres, and we're trying to keep Zubimendi off of a move to Real Madrid. So people might look at this and go, you're looking at this very negatively. None of these players have officially signed yet. They're all linked and rumoured, just like Arsenal's are rumoured. And you'd be correct. But who looks in the race right now to have a better summer? Manchester City and Liverpool look like the signings they're making are better than what Arsenal are going to be making. Because if I said to you, Frimpong, Kerkez and Florian Wirtz are coming, and Reinders, Ryan Cherky, Aït-Nouri and Livramento are coming, or I said Sesko, Zubimendi and Nico Williams are coming, who do you think's had the better window? It certainly ain't Arsenal. It certainly ain't us. So they're moving mad. These are the signings Arsenal should be going for. Reinders should be coming. We should be in for him. If he chooses Man City, it's cool, but go for him. Liverpool, we should be all over Florian Wirtz, but we're not. We should be all over Kirkes, but we're not. We should be in for Mbeumo and Cunha, but we're not. So how the hell are we not in for any of these players? They're all going elsewhere. It's crazy. How negative wanting to sign players, Potsy. Yeah, stop being negative. Stop being negative. It's only 4 days open. Calm down. Calm down. Honestly, man, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Igal told us all to calm down last night. We're all going over the top. Even though on his stream with Deluded Gooner, he said he fears that Arsenal won't have the best window. So I don't know what way of the fence he's sitting on at the moment. I think that he's trying to remain positive, bless him. But right now, I need to see signings. Big up to Soph in the chat. Hope you're well. 1.2k in here, only 151 likes. Is that all? Smash the likes, people, if you're new. Come on, man. I didn't realize it was that low. Oh my God, it is. 160 likes we've got. Let's get that up, people. Come on. 1.242 in the house. 1.2k, over 1.2k. And we've only got 180 that hit the like button. Please make sure you do me a favor. Let's get 1,000 likes. I'm trying to get 1,000 likes on every stream. So let's make sure we get 1,000 likes, people. Make sure you scan the QR code or click on the link in the description for Match Bingo. Once you've downloaded it, let me know. If you win money, let me know, because there's brilliant money and opportunities to be won. And it's actually a lot easier than you think. Naturally, watching a football game, you'll be amazed how many of the actual cards get ticked off. Yeah, please make sure that you are in for that. So Reinders is quality. And big up to Soph. Big up to all the mods as well in the house. Appreciate that. Hit the like and subscribe, people. Reinders is a baller. Reinders is a problem. And that Manchester City midfield is probably one of the best trios now. If Foden gets back to the Foden of last season or season before last, if Rodri goes back into midfield fit and Reinders is in there, I'm sorry, but yeah, they 100% look favourites as well to be finishing above Arsenal. If, of course, they're kind of... they don't get the injuries that they had to Rodri this season. So it's interesting to see what Arsenal are going to be doing. Now, let's just go through the gossip column, because there's a lot of gossip at the moment about some transfers that are happening outside and away from Arsenal. Son from Spurs is a target for Saudi Arabian clubs. Spurs could choose to cash in on the 32-year-old. The South Korean is looking to leave, and they're generating some transfer funds, Spurs, so they believe that they can get him gone. Now, I would find that a bit odd, to be fair. I think Son has been one of their best ever players, to be fair, in the Premier League, alongside Harry Kane and Bale and Sheringham and Modric, all these guys. So for me, I think he's going to be one that they'll be massively missed. But how much they're going to get for him? Spurs are going to need to restart again. They've been absolutely shambolic. Ange looks like he's going. Looks like they're going to have to rebuild again. Son would take a lot of money, I think. They'd probably get some decent price for Son. A few clubs that will go in for him. Sticking with Saudi, Jadon Sancho could also be heading to the Saudi Pro League. He's only 25. I can't believe that when he was looking like he was going to be a quality player for England, when he was at City, he went to Dortmund and smashed it. Come to United, it's ruined it. Chelsea never really got going. Now it looks like he's going to Saudi Arabia, which is crazy because I thought he was bound to stay at Chelsea. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great elite player, but I think he's a good player. I think he needs to go somewhere he's loved. If I'm honest with you, I think both Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford should both go to Dortmund. I think they should go and find some love over there. Go and enjoy the Sea of Yellow. Go and enjoy the Yellow Wall and go and have a career over there where you're loved. Because I think both of them would actually do well on the right and left for them. That's what I think. So let's see what happens there. Brian Mbeumo looks like he's going to be on £250,000 a week at Manchester United. Inter Milan have made contact with Cesc Fabregas, and it does look like Cesc Fabregas is going to be the next Inter Milan manager, which I cannot believe, by the way. I'm really interested in this move. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this, but for me, Cesc Fabregas has said yes to join Inter Milan. He's agreed personal terms with the Spanish manager, and Inter Milan have to reach an agreement with Como now for Fabregas. Can you believe this guy is going to be the next Inter Milan manager? Inzaghi obviously going over to the Saudi Pro League. It's absolutely mad. And you know what? I hope he does well. I really do. I think it's a great opportunity for him. Top young manager. Inter Milan, brave move. Inter Milan, aging squad in certain areas of the squad that need to upgrade on it. And I think what he's done as he's impressed at a youth coach level, is impressed of who he's learnt off of and who he's played under. You know, a guy who's played under some unbelievable managers now. You know, this is a guy who played under, you know, Arsene Wenger, Pep Guardiola. He played under, I think, was it Jose Mourinho and then Antonio Conte that he played under. Like this is a guy who's learned it all and learned off of the best. An unbelievable player, a proper hero, and one that I have a lot of time for, and one that I don't hate on for leaving Arsenal. I hate on the fact we didn't bring him back and that he went to Chelsea. I don't see him as a snake, you know, for me. So look, big up to Cesc. I hope he does well. I'll be very interested to see what he does, people. Yeah, wait for it. In phase 1 at Inter Milan. That's what I'll be interested in. Let's see what happens. Big up to Matty. Hope you're well, bruv. Cesca's done it the way it's supposed to be done. I wish him the very best. He's a great eye for talent. Look, he has a great eye for talent, but also what he's done is he's actually learned his trade at Como, and he's been successful there. Like Como were promoted, he took the job, he got them promoted, and then he actually put them into a position where they were respectable in Serie A. I don't think this is a bad move at all. I think what they've done in Milan is looked at the next upcoming manager that's been proven to be successful or has been proven to at least show some progression. And then they've gone to try and be successful at Inter Milan. If it doesn't work, they'll sack him because Inter Milan have got standards. So let's see what happens. Cesc, good luck. Real talk. I truly believe that. Truly mean that as well when I say that. So that's interesting. Who else is there? It looks like Palace are going to part. The Palace part owner John Textor, who also owns the French side, Lyon, is trying to sell his majority share in the club as Palace try to avoid being disqualified from the Europa League next season. This is absolutely mad, by the way. If Palace don't do this, they do talk about this a lot. They did it with Manchester United with the whole Nice thing. I don't think this is happening, if I'm honest with you. I just don't think this is happening. This next bit of news is quite interesting as far as ex-Arsenal players are concerned. Apparently, ex-Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale has held talks about a move to West Ham. They're hoping to get around 20 million for Aaron Ramsdale, Southampton. He's 27 now. And following the club's relegation for the Premier League, West Ham are interested. Now, they've got Areola and Fabianski, but Fabianski looks like he's obviously gone at the age of about 39, 40 now. Obviously, Ramsdale would be number one. I imagine Areola would then sit on the bench. But is Ramsdale better than Areola? Well, I think he is better than Areola, but I don't think it's by an absolute country mile. I actually think it would be a good signing, to be fair. I actually do. And I'm not a huge Aaron Ramsdale fan, like, wow, he's the best in the league. But I certainly thought he should have done a better move than Southampton after putting us into a couple of title races at Arsenal. I do think he'd do well at West Ham. I know that people don't like the fact that he's made comments about he struggles to concentrate, but actually he's a good shot stopper, a good goalkeeper. He's not bad for a modern day goalkeeper. His distribution and kicking with his feet at times can be a little bit questionable. Certainly not as good as David Raya in that respect. But if I'm honest with you, if he goes to West Ham, you know what will happen? They'll probably get relegated because he seems to relegate well. That's one thing that he does do. So let's see where Ramsdale goes. If it's £20 million, I actually think it's a good bit of business for West Ham as a 27-year-old goalkeeper who's now experienced in the Premier League and is Premier League proven. I think they could do a hell of a lot worse, to be honest. Luka Modric at 39 has verbally agreed to join AC Milan when he leaves Real Madrid. Is this a position they now want because of Reinders leaving potentially? Obviously, they lost Tonali in the last couple of years as well to Newcastle. So AC Milan are looking to freshen their midfield. Now, you're not really going to freshen it with a 39-year-old, but certainly what you're going to bring is a hell of a lot of experience. What a player he's been, by the way. I mean, when you look at what Modric has done in the game in the last, best part of 2 decades now, it's been nothing short of sensational. You know, Ballon d'Or winner for club and country, won everything in the game, been phenomenal wherever he's been. I remember when we signed Eduardo alongside Modric and we thought, who do we get? We went for Eduardo, Tottenham went for Modric, and they definitely got the better deal. As much as I was a fan of Eduardo, that broken leg will never let me down, never, ever, or forever haunt me. And it ruined him, really. Brilliant finisher, one of the best finishers I've seen anywhere. When the ball went through, he was going to score. He's like Robbie Fowler in front of goal. Absolutely crazy how good he was. But yeah, it's not looking like there's any news from Arsenal's perspective as of yet. But let's move to Arsenal because it does look like we are linked with players again. So let's go through what we believe is going to be happening at Arsenal. I know for a fact that everyone wants to talk about Zubimendi. So let's talk about Zubimendi, shall we? I do not understand what is happening. Zubimendi, we spoke about it last night, has come out with these comments, and it is quite bizarre. I don't get it. I don't understand if it means that we're going to be in a position of worrying about Zubimendi's potential move or what. But this is what he was asked, and this is what his reply was. Zubimendi was asked on a potential reunion with Xabi Alonso. He said, "I've always said that he was my idol, and that for me, it was lucky that he was able to coach me in the Sociedad B team in a very important year. The following year, I was already in the first team. I don't like to talk about those hypotheses. I prefer to talk about the present because I also think that it would be disrespectful to answer from the national team camp and before facing such an important competition." Now, I don't know what your thoughts are there. He's obviously respecting Xabi Alonso. Does it mean he wants to go and play for Real Madrid? No, he wants to go wherever he goes. I don't think Xabi Alonso is, anything but an idol. I don't think that he's got his heart set on Real Madrid. I think Xabi Alonso is his idol and it's someone that's now gone to Real Madrid, so people are putting two and two together. I also think the way that the question was worded to him was they kind of put the question back into his answer. And they made it sound like he's absolutely destined to go and work with the Real Madrid camp. So I've got to be honest, I'm not in a position where I can say that Zubimendi is or isn't going to be at Arsenal for definite. But what I will say is, if he doesn't come and he does end up going elsewhere, whether it's Real Madrid or somewhere else, two things. Firstly, it will sound like a right strange geezer because he's basically said, "I want to go Liverpool. No, I don't. I want to go Arsenal. No, I don't." So he's really indecisive about what he wants. The other thing that will be crazy is David Ornstein, Sammy Mockbell. Here we go from Romano. They're all put in the mud. They look ridiculous. They look stupid. So if he does not go to Arsenal, it's not looking good. And what was interesting was this next bit that he actually said, which I thought was probably more worrying as such. He said on his Instagram story on the beach after reports he was undergoing a medical at Arsenal the following: "It's an example of what surrounds football. Many times I wake up in the morning and I've read things that I didn't know I'd done. That was a clear example. It's true that I don't take it very seriously, but anyway, I uploaded those photos to emphasize a little that it wasn't exactly the reality that was happening." So he's basically denied the fact that he's having a medical at Arsenal. That is quite worrying, isn't it? When we're being told by Ornstein and Gockbell and Romano and Ben Jacobs, you can go on the list, can go on, that he's having a medical, and he's saying he's on the beach, and it's not true. Well, what one is it then? Who do you believe? The guy himself, or do you believe the journos? Because that was what we were told. That was what we were told. So I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are on this. Is this all waffle? Is this actually got some legs? Is he waffling? Is he not sure? Does he want to try and be respectful? How does it go? Furthermore, comments he made on this topic was on his future. He said, "Of course there are options, but it's true that it seems like it's going to be a different long summer, and I don't know how it will end. I don't think thinking about that right now is my priority. I'm here with the national team, which I think is already quite demanding, and if I have to say something, then I will." So it doesn't sound like someone who's destined to leave. It doesn't sound like someone who's have made a decision. It doesn't sound like someone who knows what is happening and where he's going. Now, I know that he has to be respectful and he can't say, "I'm going to Arsenal," because it will be disrespectful to all the clubs involved. But he does need to actually come out and stop this waffling because it makes it sound really bad. It makes it sound like, no, Arsenal's not agreed. No, I haven't had an Arsenal medical. I don't know why that's been reported. I was sat on the beach. Yes, Xabi Alonso is my idol. And if Real Madrid were to want me, I'd go there. That does not sound good at all. So I think he's a little bit all over the place, if I'm honest. It could be a whole lot of waffle, a whole lot of nonsense. It could be nothing to worry about. But we've just got to be realistic here. Zubimendi would be a good signing for Arsenal. But would he move the needle? Would Zubimendi upgrade on Partey? No. Would he upgrade on Rice in the six? Potentially, if Rice isn't going to play there. But I still prefer Rice in the six. If we don't sign Zubimendi, will I be disappointed? Well, I will be, because it sounds like it's a player that we're coming in that we clearly want. And if it's another player that we don't get over the line that we want, it would be frustrating. But I won't be crying about it because I don't think it's a player that absolutely moves us to the next level. I think he's a good player, and I think in the six he'll do well. I think the way that he passes the ball is ridiculously good. I think he's a deep line playmaker as well as someone who can actually bring in some ability defensively. I don't think he's the strongest. I don't think his physical attributes are what he's known or respected for, but he's certainly a player that comes in and can bring in some passing and some delicate passing at that and some balance into our midfield. He's basically a younger version of Jorginho. That's what I think he is. Whether you want that in the 6, well, Arteta does. So that's where we're at with Zubimendi. Do I think that he's going to be the guy that wins Arsenal everything? I don't think so. I don't think so. We need a hell of a lot more than that. I think we've got to be realistic. That's where I'm at. So, yeah. The Salah and Dean brothers are being released from Arsenal. I'm not going to try and butcher the whole of their names. They're both 20 and 21, but they're both being released. They haven't made it at Arsenal. It actually looked like they had some quality in them at one stage, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But we do have a list of players that are being released. So let's stream that up here. Here we go. Hopefully we can see that. I'll read it out as well for those that can't because it's quite small. Nathan Butler-Deji, Reece Claremont, Kane Edwards, Fisher, Ford, Goldie, Gower, Henry Francis, Hurtig, Illistedt, Jorginho, Kuksinski, Salahuddin, again, Ismail Amhan Salah, Neto, Okonkwo, who else is there? Caicedo Fawn, Shuaib, Raheem Sterling, and Kieran Tierney have all been released from Arsenal. 20 players leaving, to be honest with you. Let's be honest. I'm not missing any of those other than Kieran Tierney. Let's be real. Kieran Tierney is the only one that I respect on that list in terms of someone that I personally would have kept into the squad at Arsenal. All the others can go. They can go, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Arsenal were in ongoing discussions with Thomas Partey. Again, Rosiak and Chloe Kelly are all looking at contract extensions at the club as well. All 3 of their current contracts are expiring at the end of the month. Thomas Partey. We bring in Zubimendi, it ain't an upgrade on Thomas Partey. If we bring in Zubimendi and we let Thomas Partey go, we've actually downgraded in that position, which is scary, considering Zubimendi will be seen as one of our biggest signings. Would have brought in a big signing and potentially downgraded on Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey has to stay. He has to be given a 1-year deal with another year option. That's what needs to happen. Keep him on 200k a week. That's fine by me. He starts in the 6. He's covering the 6 if Zubimendi gets in the team. Let's keep him. He cannot go. He cannot go to Barcelona on a free transfer. It would be criminal at the age of 30 to 31 to be allowed to go when you've still got 2 years left. We have to keep him. Because with Partey and Zubimendi in that 6 and Rice in that box-to-box role, we've got a good midfield. Without Partey, we've got Rice who's got a cover in the 6 now for Zubimendi. So we're actually shorter in midfield if Partey goes. So we're going to need another 2 midfielders if Partey goes. It's crazy. Because you can't... Jorginho's going to leave, Zubimendi's coming in. We already need a box-to-box midfielder. And if Partey goes, we need backup 6 as well. Come on, man. And some people are saying we need an attacking midfielder. So we could need 3 midfielders if Partey goes. Oh, my God. Honestly. We're going to be short again, aren't we? We're going to be short again. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Frustrating. That's what it is. Happy birthday to Lucas Podolski. Fair play to him. This is brilliant from Waneri, by the way. Have you seen this? This is class. Watch this. Ready? Look at this. What a baller. I love that from Ethan, man. I love that from Ethan. Absolute ledge. Absolute ledge. Yeah, it's mad. More comments from Zubimendi, but we kind of covered on that. We covered on that, and we covered on that. What else is there? The new away kit. What are our thoughts on this, by the way? I personally am old school. I like the home kit to be red and white. I like the away kit to be yellow and blue. And I like the third kit, personally for me, black and gold. That's what I want. I don't really mind the white third kit. A lot of people hate it because they think it looks like Tottenham's, but it doesn't anything like Tottenham's, if I'm honest. I actually quite like it. I don't mind the away kit. It's all right. I prefer the away kit to be blue than a crazy colour like pink or turquoise green or something like that. I don't mind it. They're trying to go for the lightning bolt I think, um, the lightning bolt effect, but I want it. I want old school, man. I want the yellow and blue back. It's been too long, to be fair. So yeah, I think we've had worse away kits, but it's definitely not one of the best, if I'm honest. So the third kit looks quite nice. I don't know if that's on here, but that is one that does look quite nice. Let's talk about this because the striker situation is something that's gone absolutely mad at Arsenal in the last few. I've got to be honest. Um, I hear a different name every day, but the same two names seem to be Sesko and Gyökeres. So according to Gunner Blog, they said although that Gyökeres and Sesko appear foremost in Arsenal's thoughts, there are also other names under discussion. Ollie Watkins is one of those. He's not been discounted entirely, although the club would have the same reservations on price. So I think Ollie Watkins is going to be too much, and I think that ship has sailed. The guy's 29. He's going to be 30 this year. He is a proven goal scorer. He is an upgrade on what we've got, but I don't think it takes us across the line. Gyökeres, I think, has got that little bit of X factor quality. I think Sesko's got that potential. So you either go for the ready now in Watkins, that's going to definitely get you a few goals, but don't know if it's going to take you across the line. You go for Sesko, who one day might be good and has potential, or you go for Gyökeres, who's going to be guaranteed to score you goals. The only other striker I see out there that's guaranteed to score you goals is Osimhen. And people are saying he's too expensive and no one wants him and he's got to go to Saudi. So it's got to be Gyökeres then, hasn't it? Ollie Watkins would have been a good January signing, but it's be one that we still be looking at a signing now. If we would have signed Ollie Watkins in the January transfer window, we would not need to be going, well, we don't need a striker now. We've got Watkins and Havertz. We'd still need to go and get a Gyökeres or a Sesko or a Isak or whoever it is that you want. And that's what my worry is. So who are we going to get? I think we're going to get Sesko. I don't want him. I want Gyökeres. But I think we're going to end up getting Sesko. And that's crazy. I mean, Classic Gunner has said Sesko, Leroy and Watkins would be a wet dream for Arteta. Yeah, I think they're the sort of signings he'd like. Let's be real. But I don't like that we're still linked with Watkins. I don't like that we're linked with Sesko. I want Gyökeres. That's who I want. Now, I don't know if you saw the show last night, but Christian put a little bit of an Andrea Berta bomber, saying that his friend met Andrea Berta walking down the road, had a chat with him. He was a really nice guy. And the words were, who will we getting? He then said, who do you want? He said, well, there's a lot of talk on Sesko. And he went, And he said, he said, who do you want? He said, I want Gyökeres. And he apparently fist pumped him and said, you got him, and then walked off. Now, I don't know what to take to that bit of news. I don't think that means we're signing Gyökeres. I don't think it means that it could be that Andrea Berta was having a laugh with him, trying to engage with him. It could be that Andrea Berta was trying to sort of agree. But if I'm honest with you, I know that's a true story because I don't know why he would lie. But I don't feel that means that Andrea Berta is going to walk up to a random Arsenal fan and tell him all of his transfer business. That is just not what happens. That's just not what happens. He will not do that. So it was random as hell when he told us that story last night. Random. I don't know why Christian would lie. It's not even Christian's story to tell. It's obviously Christian's friend. Now, Christian's friend could be talking rubbish, but there is a picture of them both there together. Christian's friend could be talking absolute nonsense. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. A lot of people saying it's rubbish. I don't want to dismiss this. I don't know it to be true or false. But that's the rumor. So I have to see. You learn something new every day in this game. You learn something new every day. And I've just learned something. I'm not the manager. Now, this guy is seriously observant. Newsflash, you're not the manager. Daniel, I only get called Daniel when I've done something wrong by my mother. So, I mean, wow. You are not the manager, Daniel. Do you know what? Thank God I'm not. I wouldn't want that job. Crikey. Trust me, I would not be good enough. I'd be sacked straight away. I'm definitely not good enough. Very strange people in the chat, that's for sure. So, yeah, you gullible muppet. You're a gullible muppet if you believe that Christian's telling the truth. So, yeah, crazy, really. Crazy. Listen, Arsenal need to do business. And it is going to be a striker. I don't know what one. It is going to be a left winger. I don't know what one. It probably is going to be a midfielder, but I'm not quite sure which one. I hope Andrea Berta gets the power. And at the moment, I still have a question mark about that. Because I haven't seen anything that at the moment suggests that he's the one in charge. Because it looks like Sesko's a goer. It looks like Zubimendi's a goer. We will not stop talking about Nico Williams, although it now looks like he's staying. All of those are Mikel Arteta. Joan Garcia was the goalkeeper we were after. It looks like he's going to Barcelona. That was a Mikel Arteta potential target. So I want Andrea Berta now to come in and actually allow him to have some power. We're only a few days in, so people are saying keep your powder dry, fair play. I'm cool with that. And I will. I'm only assessing this window when it shuts. All I'm doing at the moment, is discussing reports and rumours. So let's talk about another one, shall we? This is coming from Ben Jacobs that will relate to Arsenal, and not just Arsenal, because Chelsea are interested in him as well. Nico Williams is a player that Arsenal have been looking at for quite some time. Now, Ben Jacobs has said that Athletic Bilbao began the initial talks with Williams to renew his contract. Discussions include a deal that would increase his current £58 million release clause and push the player's salary towards £10 million a year. I think we need to forget about this. I think this guy is staying in Spain. I think we have to forget about Nico Williams. That goes for Chelsea and Arsenal, and concentrate on other targets. I've got to be honest with you, it does not excite me anyway. I don't think he wants to leave the country. I don't actually think it looks like he wants to leave Athletic Bilbao. He is cheap for what he could be. At 22 years old, he could be good. He's lit up the Euros. He looks quite electric and technically gifted at times. But consistency bothers me. Form bothers me. Hasn't lit up the league. Hasn't been one of their best players or the best player. I think their best player is Sanket, if I'm honest. So I don't think that this is something that I expect to see happening now. Nico Williams is not even in the top 4 of the left wingers that I would go for, if I'm honest with you. People keep asking me, who do I want? I'll tell you players who I would take ahead of Nico Williams. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Mitoma and Semenyo from the Premier League, I would take ahead of Nico Williams. I would take Rafael Leao ahead of Nico Williams. I would take Enemola Lookman ahead of Nico Williams. And I would take Rodrigo ahead of Nico Williams. I would also take Eze ahead of Nico Williams. And I would also take Bradley Barcola ahead of Nico Williams. So when I said he's not even in the front 4, in the first 4 of my, I actually could go to normally 7 or 8 players that I would have. Now, if there's one that I want, and there's one that I could get out of those 8 that are absolutely coming to Arsenal, it would be Rodrigo. And in fact, I'd get 2. I'd get Rodrigo and Eze. That's what I would do. Because they're both, I believe, available. Eze definitely is. He's got a 68 million release clause. He's definitely going to a club if anyone releases that. That's better than Palace. And Rodrigo, I'm not sure about, to be fair. I've got question marks about him actually wanting to leave. I think Xabi Alonso's walked in and had a chat with them all, and I think he might now rethink his options and take a listen to what Xabi Alonso's plans are. So, yeah, I don't think it is going to be a player that I look at. Ademola Lookman is realistic. Semenyo is realistic. Eze is realistic. I don't know about some of the others. Mitoma's a lot of money. Rafael Leao's a lot of money. So there are other options. So Jamie Gittins, no, I don't want him. He's another Nico Williams. He's young. He's a project player. He's not ready now. He's not taking us to the next level, in my opinion. So I think that's going to be really quite interesting. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, people. That's what I want to be seeing. Hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you scan the QR code or click on the link in the description for Match Bingo. Hopefully you've downloaded that. Credited £5 to your account, and then you can get to play tonight for tonight's game. We've got tomorrow night's game as well. So make sure you get your cards for those 2 as well. And yeah, good luck. Hopefully you win some money. Really easy to play. You don't have to do anything. All you need to do is literally pay, get a card, and then it does it for you. So they'll let you know how many you get and if you get a bingo or not. So hopefully you guys, and let me know if you win on here as well. Yeah. Once you've downloaded the app and you've put £5 in, put in there, yep, we've done it. So I know in the chat, so I can recognize the names. And then please let me know if you win, because I really want to know if you are winning. Because there's people that I've seen on my comments of the videos. Oh, I won a Patrick Vieira shirt from Football Prizes. Why didn't you tell me? You know? Oh, I won on Match Bingo. Well, tell me, man. I can celebrate it on the stream. So make sure you do that, people. Make sure you do that. Okay, another kit for you all. Let me know what you think about this kit, because I actually like it, and I didn't think I would, if I'm honest. I really didn't think I would. It's the third kit that is being released. It's one that William Saliba is wearing, and I'm a fan of it. I think it's a very, very nice kit. And it's one that, if I'm honest, I didn't think I was going to like, to be fair. I didn't think I was going to like it. Let me blow it up a little bit. Let me go into Zoom one more time. There we go. Let's try and zoom it in a little bit. So there we go. I think it's nice, if I'm honest. I like the fact it's the old school Adidas badge. I like the fact it's the Canon. I actually quite like the shorts and the yellow and the burgundy and the white. I think it goes well. I don't think it's like Tottenham's. I don't think it's like Leeds or Fulham's or anything like that. I actually do think it's very much quite unique to Arsenal, because it's the old school burgundy, the old school red currant. And we had a similar kit back in 2008, 2009, I believe. I think it was the year that Eduardo broke his leg, actually, about 2008. And I really felt like we were going to win the league that year. I like it. I'll probably end up getting it. I probably won't get it from the club shop, because I have my ways of believing that that's not the way to do it. But I will probably get that kit because I like it. I think it's different, and it's probably going to be one of the ones that's potentially iconic in the coming years. So I think that is one that we will enjoy wearing. And if I'm honest with you, I don't mind wearing it. I prefer the third kit to be white, if I'm honest, or black and gold. I don't like these crazy colors. We've had pinks and greens, and I don't even know what this last one was, turquoise and peach. I don't know what these colors are, man. So for me, I think we have to look at that. So yeah, man, I'm a fan of it. I quite like it. I will say that. I quite like it. Interesting news as well in relation to Per Mertesacker. Yeah, this is fairly interesting, to be fair. Gunner Blogger suggesting that Arsenal have allocated funds to Mertesacker to enable him to strengthen the academy this summer. So it looks like now we're going to be taking the academy a little bit more serious. Obviously, we've had 3 absolute legends that have come through at the club of late. I say legends, I'm obviously tongue-in-cheek. Max Dowman is the next one. Ethan Waneri looks a baller, and Miles Lewis-Skelly has taken by storm how good he's been. Deserves all the plaudits he's getting. He's been an absolute phenomenal player for Arsenal. He really has. So let's see what happens there with the academy. Let's see if we can continue to grow our academy, because it's been exciting. Hamad says, I have a feeling Arsenal will bottle this transfer window so hard the super positive fans will make the Jesus return from injury sound like a new signing. Jesus and Tomiyasu are staying at Arsenal. Forget them. They're not new signings. They're players that are crocked. They're players that no one wants. They're players that are in the waste bin. They've got to get themselves fit, and then we can discuss what happens with them. But they're not like new signings. The other players that are coming into the mix that are going to be used as squad players are the 3 youngsters, Max Dowman, Ethan Waneri. Lewis-Skelly will probably start unless we get a new left back. The new signings of last summer, there's only Calafiori and Marino that are the ones left that look like they're going to do anything. Marino looks like a squad player. Calafiori definitely doesn't start at the moment at left back or left centre back. So right now it's going to be about the 11 that we've got, which we know is Raya, we know is Timber, White as cover. We know Gabriel and Saliba are there, but we're not sure about the cover, whether Kivior stays or goes. The left backs will be Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori. Zubimendi and Partey, we hope if he stays, will be in the 6, and Rice and Marino in the 8. Erdegaard and Waneri at the moment in the 10, unless we buy, of course, another attacking midfielder. Hopefully we do, like Eze or Sanchez or Baena or somebody like that. Left wing, it needs to be Martinelli as the backup, and we buy somebody like Rodrigo. Saka needs to start on the right, and then I do think we'll probably use Rodrigo if we sign him, Eze if we sign him, or Waneri as the backup as right. And then up top, it will be Havertz that's the backup, Jesus when he comes back, and then we'll go and buy a striker like Gyökeres or Sesko. That's what the squad's going to be. We just have to deal with it, man. I don't know that it's strong enough still if we just get 2 or 3, but the 2 or 3 we're linked with at the moment is a midfielder, a winger, and a striker. Hopefully, on top of that, we'll get another 3 more, which will be a goalkeeper, a defender, and attacking midfielder. That's what we need. But let's see. Conrad, big up to you. He says, we sit and let all the creativity and technicality snatch up by Liverpool and City. This manager will be left in smoke 25-26 season, mark my words. A lot of people have suggested that Arsenal could be in a top 4 race if they're not careful this season, because they believe that Chelsea and Newcastle will improve. Liverpool and City will definitely keep the pressure on. And those 4 teams, along with Arsenal, they make 5. So those are the 5 that people are looking at going for a title. And if I'm honest with you, it's quite easy when you all go for a title to finish in the top 4 and drop off over by a few. So for me, we can't allow that to happen. We just really can't. He-Man says £750 million, no striker. Our wingers pre-Arteta and new left-back is from the academy. Saliba is pre-Arteta. That he's loaned out twice and he's sold Martinez. Arteta out. Is that enough? And you know what, He-Man, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that want him gone. I want him gone. I would have sacked him by now. Cronkies are the issue at Arsenal. We all know that now because he's staying put. He's staying and remaining as the manager. And they've got zero ambition to win. The only thing they care about is coming fifth. You come fifth, you'll get sacked. You get into the top four, whether it's second, third, fourth, or first, they won't care. Winning it, they're not bothered by that. If you come second, it's all good still because they get their money. We all know the Cronkies cards now, man. We all know what they're playing at. And unfortunately, it's not something that I'm interested in discussing because I've done with them. I'm done with Arteta and Kroenke. Arteta showed me what he is. The Cronkies are definitely showing me who they are because they have decided to, for whatever reason, go done. So he's staying here. We've got to discuss what happens next. One of our targets in goal is Joan Garcia. He now looks like he's off the market. He's going to Barcelona from what we understand. And Gunnar Blog says that Arsenal are in the market for a new goalkeeper to the understudy of David Raya. Their long-standing interest in Joan Garcia is well documented, but he appears to be headed elsewhere, i.e. Barcelona. Arsenal are already working on alternatives. Now, the backup goalkeeper really does not fuss me whatsoever. It's not an order of priority for me. It's not a player that we need to get in ASAP. I don't think we are in a position where we can be excited about a backup goalkeeper that isn't someone that's going to take over from David Raya. And I don't think that they want someone to take over from David Raya now. I think they might in a few years' time. Now, whether they see that as Cole Hine or Thomas Setford already, I'm happy to just keep them as backup. If we do go and spend money on a goalkeeper, I don't really want it to be more than like £5 or £10 million. If we're spending 15, 25, 30 million pounds on a backup goalkeeper, I think it's a waste of money, if I'm honest. So Kasper Schmeichel, somebody like that, come in, experienced head, play a few games here and there, can be relied upon. Or you just stick with Cole Hine and say, you've got enough experience now, mate, playing football. You can come in for the games that we need you in. They're the two options we've got for me now. That's what I would say. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Joan Garcia, by the way, just quickly, a lot of clubs after him. Looks like he's going to Barcelona, but a lot of clubs after him. It looks like there's Newcastle were interested. Manchester City were interested. I believe there were other clubs interested as well, but Barcelona is the club that he's chosen over the England clubs. So fair play to him. I hope he does well there. He's a good goalkeeper from what I understand. I think the next best goalkeeper coming through, by the way, is the Lille goalkeeper. Chevrolet, is it? He looks very, very good. Very good. So I think it will be interesting, if I'm honest, to see where we're at. Yeah, I feel like we're going to be in a position where the goalkeeper thing is just going to drag out a bit, but no one really cares. The wide areas is something that we're looking at, of course. I think I brought this up the other day, but let's go through what Gunnar Blogger said again, for those that haven't seen it. In the wide areas, Arsenal have explored a number of options. Senior figures at the club have held talks with Leroy Sané. The expectation has been that Sané would renew with Bayern Munich, but Arsenal are an alternative if he decides to move. Arsenal's coaching staff are also keen admirers of Rodrigo. However, the numbers associated with a hypothetical deal would be challenging. Arsenal's interest in Nico Williams is long-standing, while Anthony Gordon is another who the club like, but who would command a high fee. Let's break that down. So let's start with Leroy Sané. I don't want him at Arsenal. I'll tell you why I don't want him at Arsenal. Because if he was 23, I'd be all over this. But at 29, heading to 30, I don't think that he is the player that he used to be. Otherwise, he'd be staying at Bayern Munich. This is not a player that Arsenal should be going for as a marquee signing because Bayern Munich do not want him. So Leroy Sané, no. However, I think it's likely because this is a very, very, very Arsenal-like signing. Who Arteta used to work with. Sterling Part 2. Younger than Sterling, but... Oh, no, actually, is he the same age as Sterling? Better than Sterling, then I'll say. But probably not wise. No more Manchester City players that used to be. No more Sterlings. No more Zinchenko's. No more Gabriel Jesus. I don't want any of these players, man. The only Man City player that I would take that used to play for them right now is Julian Alvarez. He's the only one that I would take. I don't want any of the others. I think that he's done, if I'm honest. It's not an exciting signing. It's not a marquee signing. I don't want Sané. I don't want Grealish. I don't want Doku or Savio. I do not want them. Then we come to Rodrigo. Now, they're saying that the numbers associated with the deal would be difficult, which means he's going to want a hell of a lot of money, and Real Madrid are going to want a lot of money. It's going to cost us 100 million euros plus how much money he's on a week, which is probably going to be close to 250 to 300 a week. Pay it. The guy takes you to the next level. The guy moves the needle. He's better than Lookman. He's better than Williams. He's better than Mitoma. He's better than any of the names, Jamie Gittins, Wico Williams, all these guys that we've been linked with. Rodrigo is levels clear of them. We should have bought Kvaratskhelia in January. It was a steal. It was a bargain. It was a massive L from the club. He went on to win the treble. £63 million he cost. We spent 65 on Havertz. We spent 40 on Vieira. This was a steal, but we missed out on that. Do not go and get another stopgap winger, please. It has to be Rodrigo. It absolutely has to be. If he doesn't want to leave, fair. Put the money in. Make him make that decision. Come on, man. And Williams we've discussed, so I'm not going to discuss that one again. This is something that's quite frustrating with Gyökeres and Sesko. No one can make their mind up. Apparently, we've explored the parameters of deals for both Gyökeres and Sesko. Arsenal's leadership group have debated the merits of both players. If they made a clear decision on their preference, they're keeping it close to their chest. If it is to be Sesko, Leipzig would prefer an early sale. Having missed out on Champions League qualification, there's a financial shortfall for Leipzig to meet. Gyökeres, however, may be the cheaper overall package. So if cheaper overall package is what Gyökeres is, maybe that will suit Arsenal. Maybe that's what Arsenal want, the cheaper of the two. The better of the two is Gyökeres. And if he's cheaper as well, got to be happening. I don't want him going United. I don't want him going Chelsea. I'll be really peeved with Arsenal if they allow that to happen. That is not what I want to be seeing happening. Gunner Blogs also said, while there's been a lot of speculation about the left flank, Arsenal may need a player who's an option on the right. Ethan can play that position, but in the long term has been earmarked for a central role. I don't know that we're getting a right winger and a left winger. I think we'll get one that can play both, if I'm honest. That's what I think will happen. The Zubimendi deal apparently is probably going to be ratified in July. Accounting purposes, according to Gunner Blog from Sociedad, have suggested they want that done after the Club World Cup on the 1st of July. So maybe that will be happening there. Let's see. Sami Mokbel suggested that both frameworks for Gyökeres and Sesko have been done and that they're going to decide what one they want out of the two targets. I think we heard that the other day. And then we've caught up now and we're basically back to the Sesko and Gyökeres debate. So look, people, it's going to be a mad, mad summer, but I hope it is for Arsenal. I don't expect Arsenal to get anything massively or majorly done in these first few weeks before it shuts quickly for the Club World Cup. I don't expect Arsenal to sign anyone. So I'm sorry, guys. It's not very positive. I do think we'll sign players, but I don't think it'll be until after this Club World Cup. I really don't. I think Arsenal will sit and chill because that's what Arsenal do. So let's see. We could have already signed Zubimendi and Sesko and they're going to announce it after. Who knows? But right now, it looks like Arsenal need a hell of a lot more than that. Arsenal do need a backup goalkeeper. Arsenal will need a form of versatile defender. Arsenal will need to look at a central midfielder and an attacking midfielder. They will need a winger and they will need a striker. There's 6 or 7 players needed at Arsenal at the bare minimum. That's what we've got to do, people. Listen, we're going to redirect you over to Igal. He's about to go live. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you go and raid his chat with Potsy Raid. And we'll see you next time. Make sure you get Match Bingo in the corner. Make sure you click on the link in the description. And make sure you show us some love by hitting like and subscribe. We're out of here, people. Laters.